We have a lot of green space around Seattle. We're fortunate enough to have that, and we certainly like to keep that. And I think the hybrid bus fits into that program.
As a driver, especially being keenly aware that it is a hybrid, it's important to know that I can carry so many people and use less energy to do that.
Reliability is a very important factor, and making sure that we have a bus that's out on the road, that's available for the public, that's giving us good service, and also keeping our cost factors down.
I like to have a piece of equipment that's dependable, that I can be proud in, and that I can have, shall we say, a sense of ownership in. And this unit is put together so well, I feel I can have that.
Every bus that we buy here on the property, we put through some acceleration tests, 0 to 10, 0 to 20, 0 to 45 on flat land and also climbing grades. And in every one of those tests, this hybrid has outperformed every other vehicle that we have on the property.
We set up a test program to run the bus 20 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And doing so, we wanted to do that with a full maximum load on the bus. So it's kind of a worst case scenario.
We loaded it with 11,000 pounds of ballast. We had a team of about a dozen drivers who worked night and day. They were out there Christmas Day, New Year's Day running the bus.
At this point now, we have actually achieved our goals. We're actually over 37,000 test miles. So it's been impressive.
We've had a good partnership between Allison and New Flyer because the bus has performed excellent for this whole test. In 36,000 miles, we've not had 1 yard delay.
Feedback from my technicians has been very good. In fact, they're impressed so far with what they're seeing and what they're experiencing and working on the different systems. And that's a good sign.
About 30,000 miles, Allison came through and took apart the transmission to check clutch wear. And I, for one, was very impressed with the clutch plate wear. It was zero, there was nothing on it. The reaction plates looked like they'd just come out of the box.
Charlie guys will love it.
The coach certainly picks up faster than a normal 60-foot diesel bus would.
I think that this bus is a substantial improvement over the Breda coaches.
You don't feel the shift. It's a very smooth transition.
Well, in hush mode, the bus is very quiet. It's wonderful in that respect, especially when you stop into a station and you open the doors and the coach basically just kind of powers down almost. Makes it easy to hold a conversation in case passengers have any questions.
And it stops nicely. It takes off from the line very nicely. It's a nice running bus.
We've only had a couple of issues that came up during the test. One was a mirror, and the other one was a solenoid in the drive unit. The solenoid in the drive unit, we went down to the local Allison dealer, got the part we need, and we were back on the road in just a couple hours.
One of the more appealing things about hybrid is that it has almost no impact to the infrastructure of a normal transit agency.
We want the parts as close as we can get them to what they're used to, where the components are located. We want to make sure the components have parts that are readily available within the Seattle area, and we're not having to go overseas or a long delay in parts.
The shops are all set up for it already. The diagnostics on board the vehicle are so complete that with a little bit of training, any transit agency will be able to operate this vehicle with little or no impact.
This is the next logical step as far as I'm concerned. Overall, all of us on Earth are looking for cleaner and more efficient ways of doing things, especially when it comes to our environment. And the hybrid bus is really giving us what we need right now.
If you really want to see how environmentally friendly this hybrid bus is, go look at the tailpipe. And if you look at the tailpipe on this bus after a year's worth of running compared to any other diesel bus out there, you don't see any black soot. And that black soot now is not going into the lungs of the people around our community.
From my standpoint, we've got green lights in all directions. The bus performs well, has good reliability, it's got good comfort. The noise level is acceptable, the emissions are good, excellent reliability, and we think we're going to continue to go forward and purchase a fleet.
I got some buttons from Chris about this stuff works. TSW with a nice hybrid drive in the background. It's certainly spawned an awful lot of comment asking what that really means. And I'll just say this stuff really does work.
I got to agree, this stuff does work.
This stuff works.
TSW, this stuff works.
My goal was to take that bus on a shakedown cruise, and I really wanted to get as much wear on the vehicle as I could in the shortest period of time. We set up a test program to run the bus 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we put 36,000 miles on the bus in less than 4 months, and that's more than a year's worth of wear in our environment.
Allison uses a B500 case for this particular series of drive unit. So if you put this bus on the hoist and the mechanics get underneath and look at it, they really don't even see much difference between what they're used to looking at under a conventional diesel bus. They've used clutch plates that are common, solenoids that are common. They've tried to design this using common parts that people are familiar with.
I'm one of 2 mechanics that were chosen to watch the hybrid bus in its operation. We do daily inspections on it, looking for any problems which might occur. We didn't find any. Overall, the coach has been relatively easy to service. Our daily maintenance on it in looking for problems has been very easy. It's a lot of controls on it that make it easy for us to monitor systems. The computer systems monitor many aspects of the propulsion system and also the running gear of the bus.
I have been putting out a monthly email to vehicle maintenance management staff about the hybrid since we've had it here testing, and I started out as a kind of an introductory email where, you know, going through the hybrid bus and adding a couple pictures in, and with each subsequent monthly report I've been putting out, it's been less and less information because it's been running so well, and we've had so little, if any, problems at all. And it's been such good technology, such a good bus for us that we've been very impressed, and this stuff works.
The public will notice, I'm sure, a difference, especially in acceleration. As the bus moves off, it's very smooth. There is no shifting of gears or any lurching or anything involved with it. It just moves along quite nicely.
I've ridden on the bus a lot of hours, lots of nights, lots of weekends, without the load and with the load. It's an impressive ride. It's very smooth. There's no shifting. The vehicle accelerates similar to how you might feel a trolley or an electric light rail vehicle would accelerate. It's very smooth.
When it's operating in the regular hybrid mode, the coach certainly picks up faster than a normal 60-foot diesel bus would.
There's not a lot of difference once you're actually driving through the tunnel. There's no appreciable noise increase. It's not like our current tunnel bus fleet. If you have to operate it in diesel mode, and it has a tendency to be very, very loud. The hybrid is very quiet throughout its operating range. So it's a pleasure to drive through the tunnel.
It's just very smooth. It feels, you know, very comfortable. And it stops nicely. It takes off from the line very nicely. It's a nice running bus.
It's a completely different ride. Kind of my standard answer of what are you doing to your city with a hybrid bus is I've always said it's nice to do something for the environment rather than doing something to the environment. Buses have always been tagged as being black smoke belching bread boxes. I believe we're going to change the image of the transit bus in our community, and I think hybrid has the opportunity to do that across the country.
I think the Seattle area is environmentally conscious. I think we're one of the leaders in the country when it comes to being more friendly to the environment. And do we have to do it? No, we don't. But is it the thing we should be doing? I really think it is.
Well, we've always maintained our trolley fleet here, and it's been environmentally friendly. And the hybrid is also environmentally friendly, and it'll be able to go in places that we don't have trolley service.
That bus can run at highway speeds until you run out of gas. And you really find that you're able to contribute to a cleaner environment over that entire length of time.
I think what's so important is what it can do for the environment, not only to cut down on emissions, but also on fuel usage too. I think just the kind of area that we live in this country that we really have that concern, and that's a high priority here. So I'm really looking forward to really contributing to having a better overall environment.
The Northwest is a beautiful place. We'd like to keep it that way.